Let's see now how to operate for a correct removing and mounting operation of several kinds of truck wheels. Let's start with tubeless tires. Look how to lock the wheel rim on the clamps. Please note that the clamps delivered on models S551, S545 and S555 can lock rims up to 46 inches. In order to lock rims from 47 to 56 inches, it is necessary to use the relevant extensions available on demand. Item reference 140/90. Look how to lock the wheel rim on the clamps using the optional extensions. Lift the wheel up to a suitable position and set the tool arm ready to proceed with bead braking operation. For bead braking, it's always necessary to use the disc tool. Always use plenty of grease for lubricating both rim and bead. By pressing the bead during the wheel rotation, you get the detachment of the bead from the rim. The same operation made on the opposite side allows the correct detachment of the opposite bead. On tubeless tires, it's possible to remove the tire completely just by continuing keeping the inner bead pressed until the wheel is detached from the rim. During the last phase of this operation, stand in front of the tire to keep it under control during its rolling down once detached. The mobile control board allows you to perform this operation easily. To mount the tire on the rim, let the chuck arm go down until it reaches a height suitable to rest the tire upper part on the rim. Then lift the chuck arm and move the tool arm towards the wheel middle section. Push the disc tool against the outer bead to have the inner bead introduced in the rim in quite an easy way. To perform the setting operation of the outer bead, use the small clamp delivered with the machine. Fix it on the rim immediately to the right of the disc tool, then let the tire turn in an anti-clockwise direction and press the disc tool against the outer bead. The small clamp will keep the outer bead in its correct position. Once finished, take the small clamp out and move any tool away before proceeding with wheel removal. Let's see now how to remove the same wheel using the peak tool. After having detached the bead from the rim, as shown before, use the peak tool. Set it between bead and rim, then act on both chuck arm and tool arm to stretch the bead outwards. Introduce the delivered long lever in the gap created between bead and rim. Keep it pushed on the bead and let the tyre turn anti-clockwise. The peak tool will keep the outer bead outside the rim all through the rotation. To remove the inner side, proceed as explained before, but use the disc tool. To mount the tyre again, proceed as shown before using the disc tool for the inner bead. For the outer bead, use the peak tool and the small clamp delivered with the machine. Introduce the peak between rim and bead and fix the small clamp to the right of the tool. Then let it turn anti-clockwise. As before, the small clamp will keep the bead set in position, so permitting a quick tyre mounting. At the end, take both clamp and tool away, paying attention not to scratch the rim with the peak. The described operations previously made with the disc tool can also be performed using the tubeless roller tool. This tool is not part of the standard delivery, but it's available on demand. Item reference 135/90 and 211/98. Please note that it can be used on tubeless tyres only. Look how the procedure is exactly the same performed with the disc tool. Let's see now how to operate on tube tyres. Lock the rim as usual. Use the disc tool to detach the bead from the rim, both inside turning clockwise and outside turning anti-clockwise. Always use plenty of grease to lubricate both rim and bead. Now use the peak tool. Introduce it between rim and bead. Stretch the bead outwards by lifting the chuck arm and moving the tool carriage outwards. Then introduce the long lever in the gap created by the tool. Keep the lever pushed outwards and let it turn anti-clockwise, so obtaining the outer bead detachment. To take the inner tube out, always first remove the valve from the rim, pull it, and then take the inner tube out of the tyre.